for You're a Real Champion. I call this segment, Someone Saved My Life Tonight. Summer sleepaway camp. For some kids, it's quite an adjustment. Remember Alan Sherman singing, "Hello, Mudda, hello, Fada," as he complained about Camp Granada? Okay, our younger listeners will have to Google that. Well, here's a man whose days at camp opened the door to a very exciting life. David Zaslow. As a little boy, he had his heart set on fixing hearts as a heart surgeon. Well, just before high school, a paramedic at his summer camp gave David great advice. If you want to be a doctor, get some hands-on experience. Volunteer for a local ambulance company. So at the age of 15, David joined the Winbrook Ambulance Association and got his feet wet. At age 16, he dove all the way in and became the first junior member of Narberth Ambulance Company. In fact, it led to an entire program that now invites high school students from across the region to get a taste of emergency medicine, participate in community service, and maybe spark a career. Through junior and senior year in high school, David wore a pager on his belt. The headmaster at the Haverford School gave him permission to leave school for local ambulance calls, as long as he made up his schoolwork. While other kids were cool for playing sports or writing for the school paper, nobody messed with Zaslow. He was out saving lives. Well, after completing college at Cornell, David dedicated an entire year to training in paramedic school and became even more committed as a first responder. Then on to Temple Law School. The end result? A man with a dual background in medicine and law who understands the perspective of the healthcare provider and the patient and brings this critical insight into managing a wide array of cases. Imagine being a lawyer for your day job while still dedicating at least one night a week volunteering as the first responder for victims of heart attack, stroke, bleeding, auto accidents. EMTs and paramedics never know what they're going to face and in some cases endanger themselves. They're called to a scene on a highway surrounded with traffic, or they enter a home where there's been domestic abuse. Since joining Narberth Ambulance in 1985, David is the longest-running, tenured, consistently serving member in the history of the company. With over 25,000 hours to his credit, that includes over 10,000 ambulance calls. 26 years on the board, 30 years as an operations officer, and now in his 14th year as president. I asked if he had any particular stories that stand out. Once David and his wife were on vacation in North Carolina, 800 miles away at a bed and breakfast. When the owner learned David was a paramedic, he recounted the story of a friend who had experienced cardiac arrest while playing tennis in a Philadelphia suburb. It was David who brought him back to life. Another occasion, David answered a call to a swim club. A small child suddenly sank to the bottom of the pool. Lifeguards moved quickly to bring him to the surface. It was David who performed the CPR which saved the child. Some years later, he learned that the boy's father was a professor at his law school. Everyone joked that if David took that course, the professor would surely give him an A+. The grateful father and respectful student are friends to this day. David Zaslow is a man of passion. It takes a special temperament to handle the pressure of a first responder, staying cool and calm while deploying skills they learn in training. As a paramedic, David knows that he often meets a person at the worst moment of his or her life. He and his team have about 20 minutes to resuscitate, stabilize, treat, and transfer the patient to the emergency department, hoping that the end result is a second lease on life for the patient and his or her loved ones. David Zaslow is a part of a very special family. He shares a special camaraderie with fellow paramedics, EMTs, and the physicians at Narberth Ambulance. It warms his heart to know he plays an active role in saving lives on the scene, but also sees the importance of maintaining this invaluable community service. As chairman of the board, he collaborates with the police and fire departments, helps manage the budget, and is the company's biggest cheerleader, telling the whole community who we are, what we do, and why it's important. Narberth Ambulance defines him, and thousands of people are better for it. We salute you, David Zaslow. You're a real champion. Visit the website narberthambulance.org and mark your calendar for August 20 for the Rock and Ride, where you'll have fun and raise funds for Narberth Ambulance. Be a volunteer, become a member. Go to Rock and Ride on August 20. narberthambulance.org. Thank you for joining us this evening and every Saturday at 5 o'clock. Listen to this show or any of our shows again on yourradiodoctor.com. Send us a story of a champion in your family, office, or community. Send an email to info@yourradiodoctor.net. A special thank you to our exclusive sponsor, Independence Blue Cross, and we're grateful to support from Recovery Centers of America and Rothman Orthopedic Institute, and our newest sponsor, Genentech, the first biotech company in the U.S. Here's wishing you a happy Memorial Weekend. It's more than just the start of summer. It originated in 1868 during the Civil War, Decoration Day, when citizens would place flowers on graves of those lost in battle. Now we hang our stars and stripes to honor all the men and women who have given their lives for our country. United we stand. Now, if you're headed to the pool or beach, don't forget the sunscreen. This is your radio doctor, Marianne Ritchie, wishing you a happy, healthy, and safe week with the ones you love. Always here to remind you that your health is your wealth.
Thanks for listening to Your Radio Doctor, Dr. Marianne Ritchie, presented exclusively by Independence Blue Cross. To contact Dr. Marianne and to listen to today's show as well as past shows, visit yourradiodoctor.com. This program is paid for by Dr. Marianne Ritchie. All opinions or statements expressed on the program are solely those of Dr. Marianne Ritchie or her guests and do not reflect the opinions of WPHT or Odyssey. Today's program has been pre-recorded.
Hi, I'm Lisa Thomas-Laurie. If you're on Medicare, I've got great news. Keystone 65 HMO plans from Independence Blue Cross have earned 5 stars. That's Medicare's highest rating for 2022. Some of these Medicare Advantage plans have no monthly premiums, no deductibles, and no copays for primary care visits and some prescription drugs. And all plans include dental, vision, and hearing benefits with no copays for routine exams. Medicare's highest rating, Philly's most popular plan. Don't wait. Visit ibxmedicare.com/star.
Every year, Medicare evaluates plans based on a 5-star rating system. Keystone 65 offers HMO plans with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Keystone 65 Medicare Advantage plans depends on contract renewal. This is a paid endorsement.